Hey, today I'm going to do a full in-depth comparison between the Freepi, Urevo, and Sperax walking pads here. I'm going to go into every little detail about them and show the similarities and the differences. And first off, I've been using these walking pads, and on the past year I've been losing weight, and then one of the main things has been adding walking into my daily routine. And so I'll just show you how many steps I'm at today. It's 3 o'clock and I'm a little bit over 10,000. Usually aim between 10 and 20,000. And this is a huge way to help me because I work from home and I work at my standing desk here. So I've been using these three and have experienced them. So we're gonna first talk about the remotes and the differences between the remotes. So one of the big differences are this is the Freepi remote. And the Freepi and the Urevo, they both have a pause feature, so you can actually pause it. Now the differences between the two of those is when you pause it on the Freepi, it will restart when you resume it at the lowest setting, so 0.6 for the speed, whereas the Urevo will restart wherever you left it off. So if you left it at the max speed of 4, then it's going to continue at that max speed. So just be aware of that when you're turning it back on. Both of these come with a battery, and the Urevo actually comes with an additional battery for the remote. Now the Sperax one is actually the biggest remote, and it doesn't include any batteries. So this takes two AAA batteries. See if I can get the back off. So 2 AAA batteries that I had to get myself. So just be aware of that. It is the biggest remote, and between the three of them, this does not have a pause button, whereas these other two do. So now let's first test out how loud they are. So we're gonna start with the Sperax. So I usually like to get it going and then I'll step on. And they all increase by 0.2 as well. So they all go up by 0.2 for the speed. The max speed is 3.8 on this one in the Freepi, and the Urevo is 4.0 for the max speed. So another thing is you might have to realign it, the belt, if like I had to do that on the Freepi walking pad. So we're going to talk about how to do that as well later on. Okay, and then you can also rotate through the modes on all of them by pressing the M. So it goes through the time, the speed, and the distance. And the same thing with the Urevo one, except the Urevo also has the steps. Okay, so let's go on to that one. So there's no pause feature on the Sperax, so you can't just resume it. Okay, now we're gonna go to the Urevo. And another thing I wanted to talk about quickly about both the Urevo and the Freepi is it has this silicone band that you can put around your wrist. And we have a cat, and he's already chewed through one. Something about our cat is he loves anything silicone, so he'll just chew on anything. So he's already ruined that one. This one is still okay right now, but it'll probably be ruined soon, just from him. But now let's go ahead and start the Urevo. I'm also going to show you how, when you hit resume, how it continues at the same speed. So just off the bat, this one seems to be a lot louder than the other one. Did you see how it showed the steps as well? So it's rotating a little bit quicker. You can also hit mode to just go through each one. So if you want to keep it on steps, you can do that. Now let's go ahead and pause it. And then I'll show you how, when you resume it, it's going to start at that 2.0 speed. And while we're doing that, let's take out the other one, the Freepi, and we'll start that one. Okay, so let's get on the Freepi. I think the Freepi is actually the quietest of all of them. And this is actually the one that I use the most at my desk. I'm gonna actually pause this. So it has the pause button. And then I'm gonna go ahead and then resume the Urevo so you can see how it automatically, I'll resume the Urevo and the Freepi so you can see how this one continues at the speed you were at. And even though I pause this one at 2.0, it's gonna start at this lowest speed. So you can see how this one is starting at the slow speed and 2.0 on this one. So it's starting really fast. So just be aware of that. If you end up getting the Urevo, make sure to pause it or like slow it down before you step on it after you resume. Okay, and then next we're gonna go into the differences. So one of the big differences is the Freepi is the only one that has the option to have an incline. So the way to do that is it comes with these two foot pads here, and you basically will screw them on this spot here. So when you get it, you will screw these on, and this just gives it an additional couple inches. So it has the option to basically go up to a 4 incline if you want. Haven't used this yet, but I might try it out in the future. They're all about the same 4-foot cord. I think they're all between 3 and 4 feet for the cord. The power switches are on the front for these two, but the Freepi's is on the side. Another thing is in the instructions, it has QR codes to have instruction videos for how to do maintenance or any setups, except the Freepi actually has it on the treadmill as well. So that's a nice feature. So if you need any help with any maintenance or anything, you can go ahead and use that. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the readjusting the belt, which is something I had to do on the Freepi. And so it comes with the tools that you need. And this is also how you can add the oil that it comes with, which is something else that we'll discuss. So it has 2 knobs here, and the one that we're using is the hex. So we're gonna go ahead and use this tool. And basically, if it's deviating to the left or the right, will depend on which way you're gonna turn this. And you're gonna do half turns or quarter turns, however you like. And it shows you in the instruction manual a visual. So mine was deviating to the right. So the bottom picture is what I had to do. So turning the left one to the left and then turning the right one to the right. Basically, I would just do a quarter turn until it felt, or a quarter turn, and then I would resume it and see if it shifted. If it's more in the middle after after you changed it, then you just keep going until it's at the right spot. So as you can see, it's even not perfectly lined up right now. So it's just something to be aware of, and just like to be on top of if it starts to deviate at all, because that might happen if it's the way that you walk or anything like that. So just an important thing to know how that works. And then the other one is with the oil. So to loosen up the belt, that way you can get the oil on when it needs to be oiled up. If it starts to get a little bit stiff, each one comes with a thing of oil, but the only difference is the Freepi actually comes with this little extender, which is super nice and convenient because you can lift up the belt, and you can pretty much stick it to the middle of the belt, which is where you want to place the oil. So it's really nice that it has that. And basically I just use this one for all 3 of them. So overall, they're all great options. I would say the one that I use the most is the Freepi, and then the Urevo, and then the Sperax. So I'd probably put that in the order of ranking: Freepi, Urevo, and then Sperax. And another noticeable difference is the Urevo is the widest of the 3. So that's just one last thing. So overall, they're all great options, but that's my ranking: Freepi, Urevo, and Sperax.